Infiniti helped to create the luxury crossover market when they introduced the FX nearly 2 decades ago. Now they've come back with this, the QX55. This is the Sensory trim coming in at just under $60,000. It's packed with all sorts of cool features and tech, and we're going to be taking a look at it today. So, can Infiniti jump back in and fight in the hyper-competitive market that they helped create? Let's get into it. Now let's talk about the exterior of the vehicle, starting with these human eye headlights. They said they wanted them to mimic an eyebrow, and I don't quite see it, but I do think they really nailed the design. I think it's a really handsome look for this vehicle. Complementing that is the origami grille right here. Infiniti definitely has sort of a unique grille design, and it really puts front and center stage this large Infiniti logo, which is acting as your radar for your intelligent cruise control. Let's take a look at the side. At the side of the vehicle, guys, really attractive profile right here. They have that coupe-like design, that coupe SUV-like design going on. That's been really popular with some of the German manufacturers. It's something new to see from a Japanese manufacturer. 20-inch wheels right there, looking really handsome with this $900 Sunstone Red. This might be the second best red in the industry next to Mazda. It's pretty close. I really like this red color. You got your mirror right here. Nothing special about it, but I just want to mention there's a camera in here that gives you a really nice view of your front wheel when you're trying to park. That way you don't curb those nice 20-inch wheels. Really great thinking from Infiniti there. You don't see that in any other car brand except Infiniti and Nissan, as far as I know. You have this laminated glass right here in the front, gonna help work out some of that noise. You also have active noise cancellation inside the vehicle. Overall, I think they gave this vehicle a really attractive side profile, but they still managed to work in a lot of functional elements. Now at the rear of the vehicle, I think they really nailed this angle. My favorite part of the rear of the vehicle is these piano key taillights. There are 45 individual LEDs within each taillight. Really unique look. I think they absolutely nailed that. Something else that looks really nice on the rear of the vehicle is your dual exhaust. Nice chrome tips are gonna break up that red a bit, give a little more of that visual interest. Now, when it comes to your trunk, you have three ways of opening it, guys. You can use your key, then you have your Infiniti badge right here. Now, Infiniti has made a little pyramid, almost like the little Illuminati pyramid from the dollar bill. Does it summon a cult or something when you push it? Who knows? We're gonna find out today. You can also kick to open the vehicle. I have found the kick tailgate works very well on this vehicle. It got on the first try right there. It usually gets on the first try, just a single kick right into the center. Now, looking here, we have 26.9 cubic feet of cargo space. That's a lot bigger than other coupe-like SUV rivals, especially the Germans. Infiniti's definitely going after BMW and Mercedes here. You can put down the second row seats with a little pull tab back here. You just give them a little push and down they go. Kind of a high-low floor. Again, that's something you're gonna get with this more SUV-like exterior. Just something to keep in mind, but definitely some great cargo volume and usability here. Under the hood, you're gonna find a 2-liter 4-cylinder variable compression turbo engine. Now that's gonna be putting out 268 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. We've averaged around 23 miles to the gallon with a mix of driving, mostly on highways as of recent though. Now, power is gonna be sent through a CVT to all 4 wheels. All American and Canadian QX55s are going to be getting all-wheel drive. Now it can send up to 50% of the power to the rear for that maximum grip, or it can put up to 100% of the power to the front wheels in order to maximize efficiency. Speaking of efficiency, this vehicle does have an eco drive mode along with 3 others. There is a sport, a normal, and you also have a personalized one. The sport does increase some of the, of course, responsiveness and whatnot. It does make sort of a loud noise. That's not a pleasant performance noise. The eco mode, just you lose a lot of that responsiveness. I would not recommend eco for anywhere other than the highway, as the pedal just feels mushy. Everything does not feel very engaging. I would only use eco on the highway. Then you have a personal mode where you can select your own dynamics. Just something to note, you're not changing the dynamics of the suspension, more so just the actual powertrain itself. And then of course there's a normal mode, which is going to be somewhere between maximizing the sportiness and efficiency of the vehicle. right, let's get into the Infiniti QX55. Here's your key. It feels very disappointingly light. It would be nice if they made it heavier. To lock the car, you can push this little button on the side, or you can just put your hand on the handle in order to unlock the vehicle. Getting in is nice and easy. The door has a very nice thud to it. It feels very heavy. To start the vehicle, all we're gonna do is push this start stop button, and you will see the seat slides, the power tilt and telescoping steering wheel moves into place, and the car comes to life. You're hearing that 2-liter engine, that 4-cylinder engine. Looking around here, interior impressions are very nice. Your sight out of the car is great. As I mentioned, you have those haunches that are in your view. It can make seeing the front sort of corners of the vehicle a little difficult, a little hard to see where the lines are on the highway. Stuff like that can be made difficult by those haunches, but they look so good. How could I hate them? Again, you have this really sweet line right here running through the interior that had so much character to this car. I think Infiniti actually did a very nice job here. Lots of swooping lines through the vehicle. Continuity is definitely a theme throughout here. It's pretty light in this interior. You have a good amount of windows, even though you have that sort of sloped off coupe look. They actually put a lot of light in here. Part of that is definitely due to the window up in the roof. Overall, definitely a really nice general interior job here. Let's take a bit of a closer look. Now you join me on the interior of the QX55. Initial impressions are really good here. They have some really nice material choices. We have this semi-aniline leather seating. We have the black leather seating. You have these little sort of suede inserts complemented by some white stitching. The leather feels pretty decent. Nothing great or horrible to write home about. I'm gonna turn down the fans here just to reduce some of the noise for you. On this Sensory trim, we get this black open pore maple wood. I think this is a high point of this vehicle interior. It looks really great, especially with the leather soft touch up here with some nice white stitching. Again, bringing that great contrast into the vehicle. Other than that, I think they did a really great job with the actual architecture of the vehicle. You have this line running through splitting up the 2 screens right here. So you have sort of this feature line running through the center of the vehicle. Adds a lot of visual interest to this space. Let's take a bit of a deeper look. All right, let's talk tech, starting with your infotainment system here. Looking at your top screen, that's going to be your map or your projection from your phone screen. That can be controlled using this knob right here. So you can see I can shift around and I can zoom in and out using the knob. So that's a really cool function. Now, you can also have your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto up there. That map does not have. A lot of roads are missing from it. So having those projections up there is going to be useful. It is nice you can see your projection while simultaneously seeing your main screen down below right there. Now, this main screen, it's pretty quick, pretty intuitive. There's nothing that stands out here. You can see you can like look through, let's go, for example, your driver assistance features, and you can kind of just change around some of the settings, turn them on or off, which is nice. But other than that, just to show you, you saw the app opening. The screen is pretty quick right there. Overall, they did a nice job on the infotainment system. It is nice. At first, I did not like the double screens, but now I'm realizing it is nice to be able to have your projection up at the same time as your car's native infotainment system. Now I want to talk camera. Your camera can be activated on the camera button in your center screen, and here you can see we have a top-down camera and a reverse camera, both of which have guidance. I will say this vehicle is very easy to park, very tight turning radius on it. We can cycle through the different camera views, and that front right camera view, you can see right there, that's a great view of your tire. That's gonna make sure you're not curbing the vehicle. It just gives you a close-up of that wheel. Super useful feature from Infiniti right there. You have those nice 20-inch wheels. You don't wanna be scuffing them up. And then there you have your backup camera blown up in its entirety. Very nice job with the camera system. Now you have a center display right here between your gauges, and they are controlled. That screen's controlled by these buttons right here. So if we go here, You can see as I scroll through, there's nothing too interesting here. You see you have your fuel mileage, then your ProPilot systems right here. The most interesting thing in my opinion is this page, your variable compression turbo. As you drive, you will see the PSI, and you know, again, if you're driving more eco-friendly or if you're tapping into the full potential of that 2-liter 4-cylinder variable compression turbo engine that the QX55 has. Again, more safety systems, nothing too interesting in the center screen, but it is very quick and snappy. And it is nice to have your speed limit up there. It also shows your speed limit in the heads-up display. So let's talk heads-up display. There it is. It does not do a whole lot. You see I have the speed limit and the current speed listed there. It's very helpful for highway cruising. I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. You know, it's simple, but it's very bright and it's very sharp and crisp. Definitely a great system here. Not maybe quite where like General Motors is, but is a very good attempt. Let's talk center stack. You have your HVAC controls right there. You have tri-zone climate control here. Also, you have your buttons for your heated and cooled seats. You do have a lot of climate controls there. It is a little annoying though, because your climate off buttons for your, or at least your AC off button is in the infotainment system, so you gotta dig around for that. You do have a knob right here, which can be used for your volume. Below that, you have this little covered area. I like when auto manufacturers let you cover up the storage area. There's a USB A and C port in here, which is important because while Apple CarPlay is wireless in this vehicle, Android Auto, that's going to be wired. You do have 2 cup holders with the little nubs to hold in your drink. We love the little nubs here at Gas Guzzlers. Also, traditional cigarette lighter right there. Moving back from there, you have a really nice metal start-stop button. It feels very satisfying. What does not feel satisfying? Your shifter. It feels cheap. It does not feel good. But, you know, that's a small little mistake they made in an otherwise very good interior. You can see right here, here are some controls for your infotainment system, along with your parking brake and your brake hold button. Your center cubby is nothing special. As you can see, it flows really nicely into that line, that architectural line I was talking about earlier. Opening it up with this button will reveal a pretty good amount of space. You can see we have 2 water bottles in there. You also have a USB-A port. Now you join me here in the rear of the QX55, and it is a really nice place to be. For the outboard seats, you have lots of legroom. You could definitely sit behind another adult. Another thing, I'm 6 feet tall and I have plenty of headroom back here. I was afraid there wasn't gonna be enough headroom due to that coupe-like profile. However, there is plenty. I'm happy to report you could be a few inches taller than me and still have lots of headroom. Now, the seats back here are pretty comfortable and they have a few neat features. First of all, you have a center fold-out that has 2 cup holders and a place to put your phone. You can also take the seats and you can slide them forwards about 6 inches, which is gonna give you additional space in the rear for more cargo maybe. It does create somewhat of a void that stuff might be able to fall into and it'd be hard to get back, but it's neat to have the option. And that just slides back with a little bar underneath. You have air vents back here, which is always great to see. You have a 12-volt outlet along with a USB-A port, and you have climate controls. They did a really nice job with this rear area. You have that same open pore wood, some metal trim back here, makes for a really great passenger experience. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This was a very fun vehicle to take a look at. As we mentioned before, Infiniti helped create this segment and they have come back with a really strong competitor. A huge thanks to you all for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in next week's video, everyone. Take care.